My name is CHESSA Gross, and I am a candidate in the Masters of Teaching in Social Studies with an initial certification. The reason I came to DC was because I was excited about getting kids passionate about learning about the world, about becoming engaged. I myself came from a background where I was an organizer, I was a community organizer and an activist, and I only came to that because I had such fabulous teachers that taught me about what was happening in all parts of the world, that taught me to be compassionate. And I thought it would be a really fabulous opportunity to get to work with students and youth on making this world somewhere where we want our children to grow up. And so I became passionate about coming here because of the commitment TC has to social justice and to the community. My first experience with organizing, I was a community organizer with workers on campus when I went to Georgetown University. And I got involved with this work because I became really close with people who were working in my cafeteria, serving my food. And I got to talk to them, and they reminded me of my life growing up with my mom, who's a single mom, and I could really relate to what a lot of things they were going through, and I was inspired and really amazed by how hard a lot of these women worked to feed their families. And I said, wow, like, they're part of our community, a Jesuit community at Georgetown that believes in the whole community having a really strong part and really feeling home there. And it seemed like they weren't able to feed their families and they weren't able to send their kids to school, and that didn't seem right to me. And so we started talking, and they said, hey, we'd like to be part of a movement to have more dignity on our workplace. And so a group of students and workers together formed a campaign to work on that together, and it's pretty powerful. With TC's program, Social Studies program, and the initial certification, I've had opportunity to have teaching placements both fall and spring semesters. In the spring, I worked at the Young Women Leadership School in Astoria, which was a fabulous community of women from all over, from the Middle East, from the Caribbean, from Latin America. And these young women were excited about learning more about the world. They were excited about women's rights. They were excited about the environment, about child labor. And they ended up writing poetry. I designed a social justice poetry project with them where they were able to express themselves and have a poetry slam at the end of the semester. And it was just pretty amazing because here these girls are 13 and 12 and they're dealing with some serious issues with adolescence, but yet they're able to go beyond themselves and look at how they can engage with the world. I did an independent study this year and with Bill Gaudelli, and he was very encouraging. He said, Chessa, go ahead and do what you feel passionate about. You know, I trust you. And with his guidance, I designed my own website called chessasclassroom.com, and I decided, you know what, I want to make something useful for new teachers. And I felt like as a new teacher, I wanted ideas for lessons, for cool activities, for engaging material, for how to talk about controversial issues with my students. And so I designed this website and tied it to a wiki space. And this wiki space is for my entire cohort of social studies students. And in this wiki space, we can collectively share these tools, ideas, content-related material, readings. And with a collectively shared space called socialstudiesclassroom.wikispaces.com, we can, create sort of a community that will last well beyond our TC years. Next for me, I'm looking for a teaching position in high school. I'm open to teaching in New York, to around the world. I'm really interested in teaching in Latin America. I think teaching in an international setting is fundamentally important to shape my own life. I'm a 25-year-old. I think the world is enormous and has a lot to teach me. And it's important to step beyond our comfort zone as we're young people. Also, I think that I want to give back to the international community in a way that I felt like I've learned so much from my travels and from studying abroad. And taking that lens, I think, is critically important to teaching social studies to American students, a more global lens. And so my plan is to teach abroad for several years and hopefully one day either start my own school, work in policy, work in international global citizenship education. Bill Gaudelli has been a fabulous mentor for me in that realm. I'm very excited about the next steps after TC, and I feel really well prepared for it.